gets pretty heated in here sometimes. And this morning we're joined by therapist Karen Phillip. Good morning, Karen, and journalist Angela Mollo. Good to see you, Angela. Now, it's the question every parent wants to know. Will a more expensive education, a la private school education, benefit their child in the long run?
That is the old question, isn't it? And it's been around for, oh wow, since Adam, basically. All
driven by an article. The fellow was outraged some woman that he knew by saying that he was not going to send his children to a private school, even though he could.
But he has 6 of them, so let's work on that premise as well. It's a brilliant article. I'd advise anybody, any parent, to go and read it, because it's very comprehensive. It's taken a lot of international research and distilled it down to some very interesting points. What he's basically saying is that you're not going to get a better education by paying for private, and he goes through the reasons why. I find it very interesting. We've both had children at public schools. We just had the decision with our daughter, who's in going into year 8. She actually ended up getting 3 scholarships for private schools, high paying, $26,000 a year. We ended up going for the public school in the end because we felt that the values that were encompassed in that school, and it's a selective school, but the people that she would be around were what we wanted for her. And I think the one thing parents need to remember is that it's what's happening at home more important than what's happening at school. Yes, leadership, yes, great teachers are important, but all those extras, the swimming pools, all those sorts of things, they don't matter. Yes, the networking, I would say, it was a really difficult thing for me to kind of, that was the thing I got stuck on. But at the end of the day, your own hunger and tenacity and determination will see you through.
One thing that came up in the research was that private schools still have the ability to move on teachers that aren't performing in the way that they would like, and that's an important factor.
Yeah, that not just the teachers that aren't performing, but they've also got the opportunity to select the students that they want to attend and do not want to attend.
Yes.
And I think that's a big difference between the public and the private sector.
But we've seen in WA that they have given that power to the schools in that state, and that's working brilliantly. So I think if we would look at taking that on board more statewide, more countrywide, then we could see some improvements there as well, and that's being much debated, obviously.
Oh yes, I think it's going to continue for a long time.
What do you think, Cam, being the private school
boy
here?
I went to church at the school that they're talking about there, and it was a wonderful school, and I think the benefits of it are significant, but hard to define. And I can see, there are great public schools and there are great private schools, and there are poor examples in each too. I think you may have to make your choice year by year and individually, but obviously budget is a factor as well. Next up, imagine if stay-at-home mums were paid for all their hard work. How much do you think they would earn? Well, based on a survey of the average 94-hour week that mothers clock up cooking, cleaning, driving and managing the household, and I'm just going to throw in the stay-at-home dads in this too, they'd earn $113,000 a year. Does that surprise you, Angela?
No, gosh, I think that's a very I think that correlates well with the amount of work that women do. But why? And Karen and I were discussing this. I think we're parenting too hard. I think my feeling is we're doing too much, that we're over-managing our children, that we're not just actually letting go, spending a bit more time with them, and we're worrying, we're driving them. This talks about all the things that mothers are doing. I talk about FADMIN and have written about it before, family administration. That's the thing that gets me. It's the filling in the forms, it's the $3 for this envelope, it's the micromanaging of birthday parties, it's all that sort of stuff.
Well, if you're going to stop doing that stuff, we're going to pay you less amount of money.
Yeah, don't get paid anyway, mate.
I think 94 hours is slightly over the top, actually. And what about the dads that may work full-time? It's not that they come home, well, hopefully, it's not that they come home, sit on their behind and let mum run around and do everything. They do plenty of stuff at home, most of the ones that I know. They help clean up and get the food done and get the children ready for bed. They do the lawns, they do the cars, they do the maintenance. So do we put a price on the dads as well?
No wonder I'm tired.
Yeah, absolutely.
What I think is interesting, though, as a working mother, is that 94 for the stay-at-home mothers as the number of hours, but still 58 hours for a working mother. Now, how do you do that? How do you do a 50-hour week and then do another 58 hours at home? That's why we've got broken relationships and masses of stress, I think.
And that's why we need a lot more ironing people and cleaning people and shopping online.
I sorted it.
I want to thank my stay-at-home mum.
Good on you.
All right, back to you, Sylvia. Thank you, ladies.
Good on you, Cam. Well, at an age